This old guy DIY video has to do with a Grumman sport canoe. Now, this particular sport canoe is I should say sport boat. It's a 1977. I've had several of these over the years. I live in Michigan. I hunt some managed waterfowl areas here, including Shiawassee and Fish Point. And over the years, I've gotten these boats, fixed them up the way I like them. I end up not hunting as much as I had hoped. And I looked at it and say, hey, I've got $2,000 out there in the yard. There's no sense in that, so I sell it. Then the next summer comes and I think, boy, this summer or this fall I'm going to hunt more than I did last year. I start looking around, and if you're fortunate, you might find one of these for $800 or $1,000. You'll see them listed on Craigslist right now and Facebook for $1,500. But when I get the thing, there are several changes I make to it, and based on my older videos, people have asked that I talk more about the boat. So particularly, this is a 1977 when Grumman made them. It was rated for 1,100 pounds. The hull is not designed to plane. I put a 7.5 horse short shaft motor on there. One of the first changes I make is to install a bow eye here on the front, and I just did a little video about that. But basically, you remove this little bulkhead panel. You pull out the two pieces of foam, and then you come up here with your bow eye and just drill a 3/8 inch hole. I stick one of these legs in there and just mark where the other one should go. Drill a second 3/8 inch hole, push the thing in, put a piece of hardwood on the back, or you can even use a 2x4. I just cut it in kind of a triangle shape, much like the bow of the boat. Drill two 3/8 inch holes through it, stick the block of wood on there, put washers on the back side, tighten them up with a ratchet and about 3 feet of extensions. And then to do the final tightening, you come out here with an open end wrench and just crank these things down until it's nice and tight. And the reason you put the bow eye on instead of just working with this hook that Grumman put on the top is if you're towing this boat behind something and you have the rope up here, it wants to nosedive. And if you're trying to pull it onto your trailer and you have the rope up here, it wants to pull the nose down into the bow rollers and the bunks on the trailer. Instead of sliding up and using the water as your friend, it's trying to pull itself into the trailer, so it makes it more difficult. So I normally do that, and then I'll take out the middle seat. I like to have more room so I can actually lay on the bottom of the boat. If you just fold cattails over it or take some fast grass, you can really hide this thing easily and quickly. And when I take this seat out, I'll just take the rivets that are right up here, and then on the seat itself I take out these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rivets on each side, and then I will drill out these rivets here in the middle. So you can just lift the seat off. The brackets on the side of the boat are still there. They don't hang up on decoys or anything, and if sometime in the future you decide to put the seat back, you can. And I'll do a video later when I pull this seat out, but when it comes to this vertical support, I'll take that thing and just bend it over, because I also put a false floor in here. I get the 3/4 inch pink Owens Corning board from Home Depot, and I cut that stuff, lay it in the bottom, and then I have a slip sheet from material handling places, or like FedEx may have them, and I lay that fiberglass board over the top and just fasten some rivets along the edge to hold the whole thing in. It just makes for a nice, flat, comfortable bottom for me, and it really doesn't add any weight to it. I have a video on the channel of one of those that I did a couple of years ago. And this boat, the previous owner said he had bees and mice in here, so he chewed out a bunch of the foam and put in great stuff. I'll cut some of that out, clean it up a little bit. I haven't seen any bees or mice. I just dealt with a whole pile of ants. And then the other thing I do is, in the back, the original sport boat did not have a drain plug. So I put a brass drain plug in this one. I had done a video a couple of years ago about using PVC, but the price of brass has come down so much, I got 2 of these brass drain plugs from eBay for 11 bucks delivered to the house. So this time I just put brass in. And the other thing I do is reinforce the transom, because it's a really nice little boat. It's rated for 6 horsepower. I'm going to have 7.5 on here. I've seen guys use up to 15s, and this thing in my opinion, is a death trap. It's like having a tornado strapped to a bathtub at that point. But once I get it on plane, it's great as long as I don't have to turn a corner. And with the motor that I'll be dropping on here, a short shaft, I found that I'd like it to be raised about 2 inches above the transom. So I replaced this board on the inside, and then on the outside I make the transom board so it runs all the way across the back of the boat, and that way the force is all the way on the edges of the boat as well as right here in the middle where it has that support. And I'll do a video later that has to do specifically with the transom. But I just recently got this thing. I'll document the changes I make to it as I go. And if you'd like to learn more about my version of Grumman Sportboat mods, I'll be happy to share it with you. Have a nice day.